All right, we are hoping this is fixing it. I'm gonna go check this lovely live, and hopefully it has fixed it.
If it doesn't, I'm gonna take a shot.
If it doesn't, take a shot. Yeah, if it doesn't, I'm downing this whole drink, even though I have to be up at 3:30 in the morning.
Why?
All right, hold on. Come on, studio. Sorry, it's taking a second. Oh, thank God. Okay, taking a second.
Well,
oh, thank God.
What the hell was up with your computer that you had like the world's tiniest drummer just going to town?
The worst drummer too. Okay, so hold on. Let me update the thing on here so that we're back on board. All right.
Send it. Would you?
Yeah, sending it to everybody. Ugh. All right, so I just sent you those links. Hopefully we are good now. Please chime in the YouTube comments. Just sent you those links. Yep. All right. I sound beautiful again. Hail Satan.
Really gonna get in the way of your ASMR career that we discovered last episode.
You know that I was just trying out some different sounds. The opposite of ASMR, which would be Z other letters.
Well, hey.
Cheers.
Cheers, my God.
You know, this program always keeping us on our toes.
Mm-hmm. I learn something new every time. But
we don't actually know what fixes it.
Well, turning stuff off and on again, that is almost always the solution. Not 100% of the time, but
I also blew on it and tapped it.
Ah, perfect. That's such a retro move. I love it.
Yeah. Thank you, Flynn Truth Music. Thank you for logging on and being patient with us. And thank you for joining. Oh, man. I just want like a moment's peace for a second. Just
and we'll lament the 3 dead links that came before this one.
Yeah. Well, thank you everybody for jumping on. Hi, Brandon. Brandon is he's the trick of one of the lovely people that we're gonna be chatting with today. He's just yeah, he's a fuckboy basically. That's pretty much it.
Oh, okay, good to know.
Yeah. Just kidding. How are you, Joe?
I mean, I'm good. I've had a great week. It's going to sound strange, but I spent a lot of time power sanding a lot of wood this week, which I didn't know that I would be as good at that as I am.
Is that what you and Daniel call it?
Yes, the world's least subtle euphemism.
Yeah.
No, I did a lot of woodworking this week because it's so much cheaper. It takes a lot more time, but it's a lot cheaper to make your own stuff. We made me a new desk, which has been great, and I have a lot more room. But there's something really satisfying about working with wood. Now, I can't say that without sounding sexual about it. Woodworking. I'm way off track. How are you doing?
Well, I have done 0 woodworking during this pandemic, but we've talked about that. So I did bake some really shitty cookies today.
What made you have to try really hard to mess up cookies, I feel like.
Yeah, thanks. So I went into it. I was like, oh yeah, I have almond flour, and I made like almond whatever cookies stuff before, like cakes. And then I realized once I had already started pouring some stuff that I didn't have enough sugar and I didn't have enough butter. So I had to substitute coconut oil for the butter and maple syrup for the sugar. And then they were really wet and like mushy.
They were really wet now?
Yeah, they were super wet. I don't do woodworking, but I make wet sweet things.
I knew. I had decided whatever you talked about, I was going to turn it sexual somehow.
Just a mush.
Just wet cookies.
No.
No.
Well, they've been patient enough with our sound issues, which is super embarrassing. But I would like to bring in 2 really, really amazing people who I have no respect for or love or care or anything. I have zero positive feelings about them.
Well, they approached you on the street, didn't they?
They
were like, "Oh, I've seen the show." And
well, so I was walking down Hollywood Boulevard wearing my mask, and they weren't wearing masks. And I was like, "Ladies, why aren't you wearing masks?" And they're like, "Well, we're murder maids, and we believe in just killing people." So I was like, "Oh, interesting." And then they told me this whole story. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So let me just, without any further ado, introduce the Murder Maids.
Yes.
Hello. Hi. Hello. Wow, not that high. I don't know what that was. Hello.
So these were the outfits that they were wearing on Hollywood Boulevard, by the way.
Yes.
Figured.
But with masks, because we don't do that.
Yeah, although you also said walking, and I don't like walking, and you
That's
know
true.
that.
That sounds like extra.
Yeah.
That is true.
Especially on
So this is Khai and Lauren. I've dropped their personal Instagrams on there, but they are the Murder Maids, and they're actually super, super, super close friends. I love them dearly, and they're awesome. Thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you.
That's what I was going to say.
we all talked to
So
Oh my god, don't know.
I feel like the first obvious question is going to be directed to Lauren. I'm going to pull it back up there. Why vampire dwarf?
You know when you're up really late at night, possibly after a few beverages, and you suddenly go, I should have an Instagram page. And there was a TV show on, I have no idea what it was, but you know how they have like weird, maybe it was like a Japanese game show or something like that. And there was a little person dressed like a vampire running around terrorizing people. And I was like, a vampire dwarf, that'll do it. And that was my name.
And that did it.
No one else had it.
She's
So-
also like 3 feet tall, so.
Shit.
And I love vampires. So I was like, that works. That works.
I'm hunching down a lot so we look the same size.
Yeah.
She's actually
helpful.
very petite.
And you're quite tall, Khai.
She's a beast.
Hey, that sounds worse than very tall.
Well,
Very live.
cheers. Thank you so much for joining us.
You guys.
I love those. Those are great.
Thank you.
These are goblets.
The that's we took to troubleshoot the
Actually.
sounds. I finished the one drink, so that'll be a record. Getting onto the second drink before 7:15. No, at 7:15.
Nice.
So,
Friday.
so Lauren and Khai. So, what is this? Tell us a little bit about this. Why are you wearing these maid outfits? For all of us who don't know what it is that you do.
Just think with two random chicks.
We're just
wearing
super
makeup.
kinky and have gone insane during quarantine.
Just what you wear now all the time.
But also,
We murder people for a living, but not real people, fictitious people from your favorite worlds and fandoms and all sorts of things. Custom-made things. Like it started actually with my sister-in-law wanting to have a 1920s Star Wars murder mystery birthday and asked if I would do it. And Lauren was in attendance, and it actually kind of was pretty fun. And I was like, hey, I want to do another one of those. So we did a villain's masquerade. And she was like, dude, you should do more of this as a business. And I have this event planning background. And she's an amazing actress. And that's the nicest thing I'm going to say about you for the whole night.
Right.
I don't like her that much. Anyway, and so she helped me form this thing where I get to write these murder mysteries and bounce ideas off. And we come up with these stories in everyone's favorite worlds and kill people.
that's the main bit. We kill people.
But we do it as maids, so it can be all of the murder and none of the mess.
Yeah, so we theme, with each theme, we're like different maids. So we were...
Handmaidens.
Yeah, or like the sci-fi maids.
Or school maids for Harry Potter.
Yeah, so we have different themed maid outfits. These are just our most generic ones.
They're very generic, and they're less frumpy than the Victorian ones.
Yeah.
Those are really not flattering
They're
at all.
not at all, and they're so sweaty.
They are, and I already don't feel that attractive because of quarantine, so we wanted to feel cute tonight.
You're welcome.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Well, is this your favorite one then, or do you have a favorite maid outfit?
I actually really like our handmaiden ones that we use for like Game of Thrones and
I
fairy
like those,
tales.
but they have those really long sleeves, and I'm a person that when I walk through a door and I have anything with sleeves on, I catch the door handle and spill my drink. And so those things, are an absolute nightmare.
Well, I like it because I have a wig that goes with it that's kind of Sarah C. Lannister-ish.
Oh, yeah.
And
Well,
then
like
I don't have to do
Princess
my
Diana.
hair. So I can just like roll out, throw on my wig, go.
That's true. I
And
need
I like
more
the low
wigs.
maintenance. I have an almost 3-year-old. I don't have time for that ass. I can swear, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm used to censoring myself for my 3-year-old. And so I don't have to do that now. And it's going to be a weird.
But it's funnier if you do say all the weird words that parents say, where it's like they mean to say. Fuck.
Oh, I say God donut all
God
the time.
donut, yeah.
All the time.
What do you want your what is your daughter's name?
Asshole. I mean, Lydia.
Lydia.
Oh my goodness.
She is. She's eventually going to watch this. So
Make sure.
this might, I don't know if you've ever gotten this question, Khai, but like, what would you like your daughter's first curse word to be?
Ooh. That's
I
actually a really
know.
good question. Well, she's kind of dropped things without really knowing what they meant.
Yeah.
Fork.
Which sounds like something else.
But honestly, I just think one that just is so encompassing of so many things and can get so many different feelings to it is shit. Just shit. And you can lean into it and draw it out and just really, it's just shit.
I like that.
We're like, shit, that's awesome. It can mean so many things. Shit's great.
Well, shit.
That's the shit. I'm like, oh, that was shit. So I mean, it's just so encompassing. And if she can drop it in the right context with the right inflection, I'm gonna have a lot of pride.
We'll do a shot when
And
she does that.
Yeah, and I'll be okay that she's 3 and doing that. So I'll be like, well done. That took a lot of brain skills to pull this off. Cheers. Let's go do a shot.
I love at 3. She's 3. That's awesome. All right, so then tell me a little bit more about the Murder Maids. So like it got started kind of like by accident.
Yes.
And what
Like
kind
that.
of like felt like, all right, this is it. This is what I want to do. Oh, sorry, I missed something.
And we were like, let's just see what happens. And we went about it the right way. We did like a full breakdown with a business plan and a budget and all of that stuff so we could see if it was feasible. And it turned out there wasn't a whole lot of money we had to like lay out initially to just give it a try. Unfortunately, we have a lot of great friends
Yes.
who helped us out with stuff and attended our events so we could see if things worked.
Oh yeah, we did a lot of beta tests where we're like, hey, we're gonna do this party and see what works and what doesn't. And at first we're like, ooh, there was a lot that was wonky.
Sorry, friends.
Yeah, but then we were able to hone things really well and find like where the level of difficulty is, because you want things to be solvable and not be impossible. That's my biggest pet peeve when watching a murder TV show or reading a book where you're like, well, I would have never known that. Of course I didn't figure out who the murderer was. You didn't drop that important detail, and that's BS. So we make sure that doesn't ever happen. Sorry, bullshit. I can swear.
You can.
Anyway. So we make sure that doesn't happen, but at the same time, we don't want it to be so easy that people are like, well, I just solved it in 20 minutes. Now what the hell am I going to do with the rest of my time?
Yeah, that's
No, we want people to be there interacting, mingling, finding clues, doing stuff the whole time. And kind of, we've found what we didn't do initially is making it puzzles like an escape room-esque with the murder mystery, but you need to talk to other people and find out what they know. So it's a really interactive whole type of thing.
Yeah, we try and hit on the social aspect of it a lot because that's what people just seem to, even our quietest friends that came to our events, their feedback was always like, I love this because I got to like just speak to a bunch of people and it wasn't me. I was like someone else and I had to speak to them and it brought me out of my shell. And a couple of people told us it would be good for singles events and that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
we took that and we were like, okay, what other ways can we have that makes people have to speak to each other and all of that kind of stuff.
Ooh, they'd love to hear our thoughts on the Netflix reboot of Unsolved Mysteries.
Ooh.
Do you have thoughts?
I haven't watched it yet. We've been
She's all British.
We've been murdering.
We've been murdering a lot.
people.
So
I do want to watch it though, like really bad.
Yeah, so I haven't watched it yet, unfortunately, so I can't really give an opinion. What I want to say is yay, but also they could have done it better. Because I feel like that hedges my bets really well.
Okay, so having not seen it, you have all the opinions.
Joe,
I
I was gonna ask you something.
Did you guys see Knives Out? Is that one that you saw? How'd you feel about that? Because it's such a, hearing you guys talk about it, you're right. It's such a fine line to not telegraph like who the murderer is in any kind of murder mystery or a whodunit. So it's such a tightrope walk between like telegraphing, but then also making it, solvable but difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you froze for a sec.
They'll come back.
Someone you
Kind of.
suspect, but that makes sense. And
Hey,
all of that
Always
stuff.
has to make sense.
Yeah.
Story.
Hey, Lauren, repeat what you said
Enjoyed
because
that.
you froze and we missed that.
Oh,
First. Oh, I just said. What did I say?
you dropped so much knowledge.
I said. I said it in terms of how we choose our murderer is we try and choose someone who is not necessarily immediately the person that you would say, oh, it's probably them because they're dodgy AF. But also it makes sense when it's them. And then, but also that movie had twists and stuff, and we
Yeah.
can't have too many twists because it's
Because then people are like, oh, that's just
what's happening. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to be able to follow it and have it coherent. Because I think that was one of our things at first. This is something that actually really works well with this because Lauren always wants people to get it at the end.
Because I love going to escape rooms, and I love to win everything,
She
obviously. But I love going to escape rooms, and I love beating them, and it does not mean I don't think it takes away from your enjoyment of them to be really good at them.
Whereas
And to
I
feel
love
like
it when
you won.
people are stumped and get it.
If I
And
was
they're like,
stuck, I'd go back.
yeah. So we try to find a nice balance where there's enough people who are stumped and enough people who figure it out, and so that everyone ends up being.
And I think it's good that we're on opposite ends of that because it does make us
Because
kind
you
of check
stump.
each other now and then with that
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Well, do you guys, as you're doing these maid characters, and I'm thinking again about Knives Out and Daniel Radcliffe. No, Daniel Craig. That's the one. His like character and his accent. Do you guys ever put on accents and different characters?
Oh,
Well,
I put on all.
Lauren's not British. Lauren's really not British.
No.
Put this on for you right now.
So yes, I put on an RP British accent for our pissed off. I do, and it's fine. She doesn't like RP because she's from the north and she hates everyone who has that accent.
Posh people.
Yes, so she can't stand me doing it because she's actually British. But at the same time, I feel like that helps people relax and get into character
It
and
does.
not take themselves too seriously.
It definitely does.
And it also gives her lots of barbs to throw at me, and people
yeah.
seem to like it when she hates me.
Because our roles are
I don't know
basically
why.
Kai stands up there and is like the goody two shoes and the host, and I just throw jabs at her or anyone else that might happen to be there. So it's,
You know I'm gonna want a sample.
this is basically it.
They always ask you, like, what's up with her accent? Is she trying to be British? I'm like, she's the
Like-
actual British one. She's just lived in America for too
Just
long.
wonky now. Just a bit wonky.
But no, so I jump right in to just make people, if they want, people, you don't have to go on and do a full impersonation of the character you're assigned. It's like if you play the game of Clue and you're assigned the little purple police, I've had enough wine, yay, to be Professor Plum. But you're not going around being, hello, I'm Professor Plum.
Well,
no,
like
I'm
D&D.
the person." Like, no, you're just moving him around and playing as him. And that's all you have to do in our murder mysteries, too. However, if you do want to throw it on and be like, I'm going to be Ron Weasley, and I'm going to be all Ron Weasley-esque and do my Ron Weasley bit,
Louise.
that's super fun.
Yeah.
Yes, Louise was a Ron
Louise,
Weasley
did you
for
do
us.
an accent when you were at
No,
one
he
of our events?
chickened out like a big pansy.
You chickened out?
I think I did. I think I chickened out. I also drank quite a bit and then got thrown under the bus right at the beginning. Like,
Oh, yeah.
because I wasn't, because they thought I was suspect because I wasn't crying over, a dead character. And I was like, I'm sorry. So what's funny about the group of people who do this is like there's all kinds of different groups of people, and I've attended a couple of these, and there's the people who are just like, hey, this is fun and whatever, and then there's the people who are like the cosplayers who will fucking get. There was one girl who was Luna Lovegood, and to this day I'm so impressed by her. She did not. I think I got her to like crack character, not break character once, and it wasn't like, oh, I made her laugh. I was just like complimenting her or something, and I guess I was just like bashing her over the head with compliments, that she was just like, all right, that's enough.
Okay, stop.
Well,
If you're going to whip it, stop.
So you commented that you do a really good Canadian accent. Is that right?
Who does? Me? Oh.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's my best friend. She lives in Canada now, ironically. And she and I, when we lived in England, we went out and we were like, well, we're boring as us, so we should make up characters. and we wanted to practice our American accents, but we didn't know if they were good enough to pass for Americans. So we were like, we'll say we're Canadian because no one knows what Canadians sound like in England. And then we can just be like, that's why it's weird. And so we had these alter egos, Brooke and Marissa, and we ran around Edinburgh and London and Manchester and wherever else would have us. And we were and we had to go to an internet cafe one day and Google where we lived, where we'd said we lived, because we were meeting up with the same people the next day. And we were like, shit, we made up this like story about where we lived, and we don't even know what side of Canada that's on. And we were like, researched so we could go.
I've actually never heard a Canadian accent.
It's exactly like the American one. It was just like, if this isn't good enough, I'll say I'm Canadian.
By all means, please go. Say something.
Go.
Mm-hmm. No.
On the spot.
No.
No pressure at all.
What? No.
I put on an accent all the time. Come on.
Do it now. Do your accent.
Okay, so this is wait. This is what I want. I want you to introduce yourselves as the Murder Maids, but in Khai with your British accent, and Lauren with your Canadian accent.
Mm-hmm. All right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to tonight's event. I'm Murder Maid Khai.
I'm the less annoying one, Lauren. Hi.
That is all an opinion. Lesser. Right, so let's get going tonight. A bit of rules and guidelines to get us started.
Oh my God, I'm having flashbacks. PTSD. Make it stop.
That was great.
That was awesome.
Wait, so I want to go back because you were talking about like picking the villain and like who's gonna do the villain. So what is this process like once you have like an event coming up? And do you do private events? Do you do ones that you set up and then sell tickets? And then how does the casting process go as far as like once that is all set up?
So we do private and public events, and lately we've actually been doing more private events. And all of our events had to move virtually because don't get COVID. But we'll get more about that later. Anyway, once we pick who's going to be the killer in our story, and we make sure there's always a reason behind that, we have people fill out a personality questionnaire. And on this questionnaire, there's a lot of different questions that have to do with, like, who were you in high school? Were you, like, the floater, get around everywhere? Were you the loner? Were you the band or theater person? Or were you a jock? Whatever. Stuff like that. In the event of a murder, who would you be? Would you be the murderer? Would you be the victim? Would you be the witness? Would you be the accomplice? Would you be the one out for justice? A bunch of different questions. And then we have things that are specific to this, specific to the theme.
And if all else fails, we will stalk your social media.
Oh, yeah, we are not shy.
And be like, yeah, that's Hermione. She looks annoying. Let's do that.
But it is very important when we're looking for a murderer, somebody who is smart, and how they answer their questions, if they have witty answers and things like that, that helps a lot. Because you need to be smart if you're a murderer. That's the fun thing, is you never know until you show up at one of our events. You might be the actual killer of the event, and that has its own bag of tricks that you go into.
Yeah.
And it's pretty fun.
Also very important, we have to
lie?
Be confident that they will show up.
Ooh, yes. Are you reliable? Are you smart?
One.
Can you lie well to other people?
Yeah.
And do you have a dark ass side to you so you're going to enjoy being a murderer? Mm-hmm. That's a huge thing. So we look for a lot of these qualities when we're picking out from these personality questionnaires which lucky attendee is going to be our murderer.
And then we panic about it right up until they show up.
Yeah. Only once did we have a murderer not be able to attend last minute, and we had to call in a pinch hitter.
We had to call in a friend and be like, can you come and murder someone tonight?
Please.
They do.
And she nailed it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Who did?
Actually, our lawyer.
Well, that fits.
Us, Jenny, who's also a friend. Yeah, she was like, I've always wanted to be a murderer. She just happened to say that. Like, she wanted to be a murderer at one of our events, and so we were like, now's your moment. You got 20 minutes.
You got it. Go, here's a costume. Here's everything you need to know. Come on and show up.
And then she hired us for a private one.
She enjoyed being a murderer so much. She wanted more of it in her life, to kill people. Yeah, like you do. It is more nerve-wracking when we're doing a public event and we don't know who's coming, and we really have to bank hard on these personality questionnaires.
Ooh, and we did a kids one, and that was rough.
Ooh, that was really rough.
Because the kids are so unpredictable.
They are, and they're jerks to each other too.
And the little boy that we chose that was the murderer, he ended up he was kind of a loner, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Oh, God.
he was the brother of a friend who was a part of the
and he
group.
was not, and it actually ended up being great because everyone wanted to talk to him after that, and like he just had like a flock of girls around him being like, so how did you get away with this and everything. And he was like Mr. Popular all of a sudden.
Oh, yeah.
We were like, ah, he helped his little love life.
I hope so.
I'm glad that story ended that way.
Yeah, that was a twist. I didn't see that coming. I thought it was going to go very poorly.
I know.
It could have gone really bad. But that same week we did a kids event, and then we did an anime event for My Hero Academia for very much adults.
People
all
who
of
worked
their
at a
adult
Maid
bits.
Cafe, actually.
Yeah, all of
if
their
you know what a
adult
Maid
bits, right.
Cafe is, Google it. If you don't.
Yeah, fun.
Anyway, so much fun, but that was completely, so we had all these little
Total
kids,
contrast.
and then a week later we had women with literally, I saw so many nipples that night.
Yeah, a lot of nipples.
I'm literally Googling Maid Cafe right now.
Okay. I was just like, you got
you might
quiet,
be.
so either I went too far or something.
Oh, no. This is, wow. Okay,
Yeah.
hold please.
Yeah.
Jolene asks something while I pull up this question, or this
Sure.
this
Yeah,
picture.
All she wants to know.
Well, as soon as you said My Hero Academia, I was like, oh God, my brain's going to need a second to catch up to what that was probably like. Well, so have you had a favorite, like an event that went down in history as like, yeah, that was the best one? That might be hard to answer, but.
I think we have different favorites for different reasons. Like some of them, we've done the Harry Potter ones, and I am not a Harry Potter
She
fan.
doesn't like Harry Potter. I like Harry Potter.
I love the world now. I love the world of like magic and all of that stuff, and I was totally into being like, oh, I can create this and make this into a puzzle and potions and all of that stuff. And I think it helped that all of the characters annoy me because I got to be just a bitchy Slytherin and just be horrible to everyone. But I still.
She didn't have to act then.
I think seeing how into it people are and how excited they got about it made it one of my favorites, even though it's not my favorite.
Oh my God, that's huge for you to even admit.
I know, and like forever. Yeah.
Forever.
I actually have to.
Edit it out.
I loved the Harry Potter ones. So many. We got to, because we had a big venue for it. We had so many people come and attend it, and we got to really go just balls out with our special effects and different things that we were doing. So that was super fun. However, just for like the story and the intricacies of how it played out, I think my favorite was the Marvel one. It was, superhero.
Yeah.
We don't want to get in trouble with trademarks.
Yeah.
That one was, it was a private event though, so it's not a big deal. But it was just how people did it and came and talked together and for this different friend group, and how they ended up debating and they dressed up and they went all for it, and just hearing people just yelling at each other who were like, they came in kind of nervous, not knowing what to do, and by the end of it they were like yelling at each other, I can't be the murderer because of X, Y, and Z, you did it. And it was
like the quietest people at our events end up screaming at each other, and we're like, whoa, never seen that side
like
of you.
One of my other I do like the 1940s one because that's based on real people.
Yeah, it's like
Hollywood.
a classic Hollywood one.
And I just learned so much from that. Betty Davis was an incredible woman. Oh my gosh, she was just fascinating. She had a whole canteen going on during World War II, did you know, that was just free for anybody who was serving in the military at all, who's an ally, not even just U.S. troops. You could be anyone. You just walked in and you got free food, free service, free entertainment, and like everyone who was anyone in Hollywood donated and volunteered to this thing. It's incredible, and she organized it. Like, she's bananas good. And anyway, I could go on and on. But
and then we watched Hollywood, Ryan Murphy's Hollywood, and we were like, ooh, that's that person and that
we wrote
person
about
and
that person. But anyway, so we had this event, and this really kind of shy, quiet person, she was like, oh, I don't know if I'm doing this right. I'm Betty Davis, and I hope I do it justice. And she was just really nervous about it. And then by the end, from across the room, I heard her yell at someone, I can't be it, I'm Betty fucking Davis!
Yeah.
And I was like, yes, you did it! So,
Yep.
Wait, so do you do like corporate events or anything like that, like, or meditation retreats? Oh, I love this frozen image. Wait.
Oh.
No, you're back. So my question was, so do you do any like corporate events or like meditation retreats or anything like that?
well, clearly we're very meditative.
I know, I feel like we're way too loud for a meditation retreat. That might be an issue. Corporate, yes, we've had a lot of inquiries about corporate ones specifically, and they were like huge numbers as well, which would be different for us because I guess the most we've ever had really is like 50. Because that's a lot of people to wrangle when there's just the two of us. And it's not just the two of us. We do have, again, friends that help out.
50?
That play like little characters.
50 is the largest we've gone so far.
Yeah.
That is a lot. And everyone has like a catered character to them.
Yes.
Wow.
And they all exist in the world.
Yeah, that takes a lot of time, but we want you pay attention to absolutely every single person's questionality profile. Figure out somebody who they're going to be good in that story, in that world. Give them a character, a picture of that character, a full background in who they are, and then we give them a whole other breakdown on how they fit specifically into our event and our murder mystery.
Yeah, and who the allies are.
And then a list of information. It's like, you can share this information, you can keep it to yourself. We advise you to share it with your allies. Don't share it with people who are not your allies. We give you a list of your enemies and allies, and you just have to try and get all the information that you need to figure out who done it.
Who done it?
Have you guys, by any chance, done an Avatar: The Last Airbender themed one yet?
We've not, but we've actually got a lot of requests for that recently, and also like not the movie, and that's always
yeah, it's like any fan of that series would be like, not the film, please.
Not Blue People Avatar, and not Avatar: Last Airbender movie, but show.
But actually, that reminded me. I don't know if because that was one of the themes you said that it was like in one of your fandoms. That's like your worlds that you enjoy.
We asked you guys what your fandoms.
So
I'm sure I got that question from him, so that's why I was like, have they done one of those? You know?
Oh, well, it's on my list of research because I go in depth when I do writing for these things. Like, I'd never seen a single episode of My Hero Academia when somebody requested to do it for a birthday, and within 2 weeks, I'd watched every single episode and I talked through Lauren through every single key character and talking point. I was like, this is how it breaks down. This is what our murder mystery is going to be, and here we're going to go from that. Like, I immersed myself in it if I'm going to be doing this. So that's like, I have lists of different things, and when somebody requests it, I'm like, all right, I'm going to dive in and do a deep research on it. So, but anyway, it's lovely though when somebody requests a topic of something I actually already know, and it's one of my fandoms, like The Office, for example. I love The Office. I've done one of those. Oh yeah. So we actually did a little thing just over a bottle of wine.
Yeah. We were like, let's throw a little mini The Office themed thing for Jolene.
For Jolene, just to have some fun with her, and let's see. What we did was we made a little Dunder Mifflin website, but we
can't access it.
You can't access it because people were being loosey-goosey with the password to access their website, and Michael Scott had to change it. And a memo went out for people to figure out how to do it, but in a fit of rage, it got torn up. So you'd have to piece together this memo again to get this password to access this website for Dunder Mifflin.
Yes.
And if you can do that and send us your favorite fandom, we'll not only do that, but the first person who gets it done right, we'll give them a free ticket.
So Luis has the links to that he's going to drop. So not Jolene, you can do it. We did this for you.
This was for your fandom.
Anyone who's watching can also do that. And like I said, when you get in there, there's a little, like there is on every website, that's like, send us your comments or whatever, little contact sheet.
Contact us.
Tell us what you would like to see as a theme for a murder mystery. And also, if we like that theme, we might pinch it. And do it.
Oh, I'm so excited. That's great. Even just that little, the premise that you guys put out there, I'm so freaking excited. That's so good.
So for everyone watching, I posted it, so you should see it on the screen, but also in the chat. So feel free to go on there. We'll, continue to chat over here as well. Jolene, do you, girl? I know nothing. I'm ashamed to say that I've never watched The Office. I've never watched it.
You shut your ass. How can you not have watched The Office?
I've never watched The Office.
Might be better than the British version, actually.
Yeah, at first I thought that the British version was better, but then as the American version went on, I was like, oh no.
Yeah, I love Ricky Gervais, but I just think the American version I think it's the Jim and
Pam thing.
The American version really had to hit its stride. It had to kind of go, okay, we're going to stop copying. Because when they were just doing basically the British Office, it was terrible. Like, the first season is hard to watch. But it's short, and you see it go, okay, we're going to whatever, throw ourselves into this American version of this thing. And just, I quote Dwight all the time, how can you not, even when people don't know you're.
My favorite Dwight thing is like when you're stuck in a elevator for like 3 seconds and you have to designate a pee corner, because that's my panic all the time, that I'm gonna be stuck somewhere I need to pee, especially in fucking COVID times when no bathrooms are open ever. Luis, you and I in Vegas would literally be dead right now with needing the restroom all the time.
I have my toddler toilet in the back of my car.
She's like, I have it for you, Lauren, just in case.
And it is not for me. It is for Lauren, in case we get.
I've never used it, just in case.
I feel like it just makes her feel more calm knowing it's there. She has a toilet to pee in should she need.
Good looking out. It's good.
Amazing. I got you.
So I want to, while everybody is kind of like doing the office thing, and Joe, you can, I do want you to play, because hey, you could win the free tickets.
I'm looking at it.
Multitask. Multitask. I want to know, okay, so you've done a bunch of different ones. I want to know, actually, no, I'm going to wait for Joe for this one, because I think it's a good question. What do you have coming up?
Okay, so we had to do a huge switch up into the virtual world,
right.
Which was difficult. We, like I said, our events are very much about human interaction. And when we couldn't do that anymore, we were like, okay, well, we need to do something. And we know this can be done online. We just weren't quite sure how. And we experimented with a lot of different platforms. And we ended up with Discord, which is like I use something similar at my day job. I use Slack, and Khai uses Discord. And so we looked at them both. And a lot of people were already familiar with Discord, and they, especially our target audience, because they use them for like gaming.
It's a big gaming
things like
platform already.
So we thought, let's try Discord, and it's very much like a chat room kind of platform, but also there is the option there to talk to each other, like actually talk to each other. So if anyone has trouble with like writing and reading and that, they can talk to each other. So that option is there. And so it's actually been a little bit more liberating in a lot of ways, because we can like sit in our pajamas with no makeup on and drink wine.
We don't have to wear a maid outfit.
Yeah, we can. Then there's no pressure of being there on stage in front of everyone going, oh God, we forgot all of the clues, or we did this wrong.
It's like, oh, we forgot to tell people that they can't do this.
Yeah,
or,
by the way, don't do this. We're hidden behind, we're little like keyboard warriors.
Oh, we film a little videos to give everybody the information, the rules and guidelines, so we know we didn't forget anything, because it was scripted, filmed, and it's out there.
And just watch the videos.
And we look super cute.
You do. You definitely do. And it's funny, because I did one of the Discord ones, and at first I was like, oh, that's so weird. Like you don't have the in-person thing, but you almost kind of like have more permission to get more in character, because there's just the messaging.
We've heard that from a few people who sometimes got intimidated by trying to like have to act or be like somebody or do a character, but they're like, oh, you can't even see me. I can just post GIFs of my character doing whatever and saying whatever it is that I want to say, and that's way like almost more fun.
We did one with like all just friends, like I guess it was like a beta test one, and one friend was like, who's such a buddy? Like, she's really funny, she's really witty, and I'm like, this is this person, you know her already, like. But in the little virtual world, it was like, ooh, there was a little connection there that had never happened in real life, but kind of happened when they didn't see each other, and it was like, okay, maybe that's a little.
You get to see people's personalities without having.
Luis, I have a question for you. If you could do any theme that you thought would behoove like a singles event that you would want to go, what would it be?
A singles event?
Yeah.
Is this just like singles across the board, or specifically heterosexual or queer?
For you, gay men.
So super straight.
Like
super straight.
Super straight
football and beer.
And only super straight men in a singles event.
The Bud Light murder mystery game.
Everyone that drinks it.
I mean, RuPaul's Drag Race would be super fun, obviously.
He got me through my pregnancy. Specifically, RuPaul's Drag Race got me through my pregnancy.
So
and by the way,
it's funny you say that, and I knew how big of a Drag Race fan you were, and so I actually got a special guest to join us for tonight.
Shut up.
I'm just kidding. No, I'm just gonna start this.
Crying. I would have been like, start crying. I don't know who anyone is.
special guest.
Oh, we do have special guests. We have 2 special guests.
I pull on Ellen DeGeneres and have oh Jesus Christ.
So we have some dead bodies that attend our events.
Oh, get off me, Whine. Okay.
Oh
crap!
So dead body number 1
Dead body
knocked
number 1
over
is,
a glass of wine.
Yeah, it's all good. I'll clean it.
I have a
while you
spot
talk
remover
about it.
that would work really well. This is dead body. This is actually the first dead body we ever got. And it was actually, we had to pay in cash, and we didn't have cash at the time when we were making this pickup of this really awkwardly weird small-sized mannequin. So our friend Adam gave us the cash to be able to purchase this, and so we've named this first dead body we have Adam.
And we got him from?
We got him from some weird guy who had a bunch of...
Wait, you're gonna have to repeat.
That's messed up. However, we did need to kill some people of smaller stature in some of our themes.
Wait. Can you
3
repeat
different
where
themes,
did you
smaller
get this mannequin from?
A random guy we found on Craigslist in the back of his car. It was so sketchy and awkward.
Didn't he say one of them was like my size? Or something?
Yeah, and he was just like, if you need any more of these, let me know. And we're like, why do you have so many of these? It's really awkward. You don't look like a seamstress.
Okay, so Jolene is I guess she did it.
Yay!
I don't know if I was the first one, but I got so excited and I did it and I put the memo back together. I'm so
Well,
proud of
no spoilers for those who are still watching. Welcome back. There's a burnt child-sized mannequin.
Holy crap.
Never a child. It's been different characters that aren't children, but just humans of smaller stature. And that happens. And this was our first one. So it was Adam, and then we got our second dead body.
Jolene was the first.
Oh, Jolene was the first. Congratulations.
I'm so excited.
Okay,
Wait, so what does Jolene win?
Jolene gets to, well, first of all, her theme that she suggested, we will make a murder mystery off of it, and we'll give her a free ticket. You guys! Anyone else who solves it, though, still send it in, and we will give you discounted tickets to previous events.
Yeah.
Yeah, do it, guys, do it.
Previous events. Future events.
No,
I've
there's a
had wine.
Previous event.
Previous events. We will build a time machine. I mean, that's an even better gift if you ask me. Just
Time travel is actually one on our docket. One thing that I've been doing a lot of research because we had a lot of requests for Doctor Who. So, I'm alone. I'm now co-hosting this with Dead Body number 2 that we named Eve. Eve looks like a man right now, but actually we had this very custom ordered from a place called Dapper Cadaver that does a lot of movies and special event type of special effects. And we call this Eve because our first one was Adam. And so Eve followed. Oh my gosh, Eve is so heavy. But also Eve has very small breasts. We have asked for a very androgynous dead body that we could dress up as many different characters. So this was actually Harry. We've taken off the glasses right now. But this was Harry Potter as an adult. It's been McGonagall. It's been a 1940s reporter. This dead body's been many, many things. The problem is when people try to feel up the body, they find the small breasts when we have it be a woman. And then they're like, oh my God, Harry was hiding that he was a woman. And we're like, no, that was just us trying to be. And even Dapper Cadaver, this company that does this, they were like, this is the most unusual request we've ever had. And we're like, well, guess what? 21st centuries, people are across the board, stop putting gender in a box. So that's actually one thing that we
What did I miss?
We're talking about Eve's manly and feminine qualities.
Dapper Cadaver.
Yeah.
Win.
But they were actually really great. They gave us the most feminine, masculine face that we can put makeup on or whatever and do down. A small-breasted torso. 5'9", so it could go either way on that height type of thing. And then female hands, but kind of masculine and aged, so they could go either way.
And we got to choose. I love how we were like, we'll take the female hands with the man face and the female.
They were like, this was the most unique order. And then this body has had to be in our cars driving to events in all different places. We have one of our really good volunteers and non-player characters who bought us Adam, who we named it after, is Adam. And he kept this doll in the back of his car for a long time while we were figuring out where to store it. And I felt so bad. And it's been in his garage and all sorts of things. So that's what a good friend is. Somebody who literally will store a dead body for you.
I was going to ask how you guys stored all these things. So that's pretty amazing.
While we were trying to arrange it and set it up, there was a lot of, oh, my poor 3-year-old daughter. So she's only about to turn 3 next Tuesday. So when we first started this out, she was much younger. And I was dressing up this small child-like dead body in the backyard, and we've had skeletons and skulls, and she's been phased by almost none of it. The only time she really got phased was Eve here, and when Lauren's husband was walking into my apartment with Eve after an event, so we could store it back. Unfortunately, one of Eve's arms fell off as he's walking in, and my daughter Lydia lost her mind because it looked like 2 humans walking in the door, and then one of them's arms just fell to the ground and off their body. And that is terrifying for a 2-year-old to witness, like an almost 2-year-old, I think she was at the time. And there was a lot of explanations of what was happening and how it was a doll and everything else. But moral of the story is now Lydia's favorite holiday is Halloween. She loves skeletons, loves everything spooky and creepy. She's going to be really well adjusted towards death, or she's going to need all of the therapy in the world. It's a gamble, but no one.
Be alcoholic.
Life's a risk. I'm going to have Child Protective Services called on me.
That's what this is, Khai. It's an intervention.
It's an intervention.
Intervention.
Yeah.
Joe, actually, my child's being taken away from me.
How's Lauren holding up? Is the wine?
She's scrubbing out of her carpet. I mean, she's doing responsible adult things.
Dab.
This faulty guy.
Look, I vamped for a hot minute. Get back in here. Okay. This is what we have to do in our events, though, too, because sometimes things go haywire, and then someone will have to vamp while things get back on track.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what that feels like at all. Things always go smoothly for us here at Whine and Whine
I just went
Wednesday.
Us.
Look, he's broken me.
Oh,
It's like Z.
I think Eve is a Z.
Z?
Z.
Yeah, these are.
Z.
Oh, Eve.
Wait, Z?
I haven't finished
Yeah, the pronoun ze, zer, zer.
Oh, I actually haven't heard of that.
Sorry, that reminded me. That's one of the things on our questionnaire that has been an interesting thing to navigate, because since we don't know who anyone is, and sometimes their email addresses or names are kind of ambiguous, and I mean, even my name, Khai, is, people think I'm a man all of the time, and I'm all about it, because then they're nicer to me. And that's not fair, and it's bullshit in the world, but I'm taking advantage of it right now because my day job doesn't pay me enough. Anyway, they won't see that. I'm just kidding. I'm appreciative for my day job. Anyway,
I became Schmeagol.
what was I saying? Oh, yeah. So on our questionnaire, we ask, would you prefer to play a male character, female character? Actually, I put female first because female should come first. A female character, a male character, neither, or no preference. And I've gotten stuck with the neither button a little bit because there's not a lot of characters in the fandoms that have a neither.
We did that. Didn't
option.
we do that when there was like a poltergeist? That was.
Yeah. We had a poltergeist in the Harry Potter.
And we were like,
ones.
it's just kind of an other. That was.
And sometimes they're like another type of creature or something. But then even some other people have been confused what that meant. But I want there to be the option, but a lot of these fandom worlds don't have that character already in them. So I don't know, do I create a character that's a neither? Or do I don't want to take that option away. So this is legitimately a question for anyone, for you guys, for if anyone's listening, how to go about doing that, because I want to be inclusive and not anyone feel like they have to be something and represented by something they aren't. But what to do in Marvel, there's no non-binary characters, so what do you do?
Yeah, I mean, like, it's funny, I was just having it just happened today. I saw a breakdown for a film, and I posted about this on my Instagram earlier, and I did a little like rant about it. And there's the breakdown was for a gay character, and it was like, nosy neighbor, really eccentric party host, and, flamboyant, and he's a makeup artist for celebrities, and he's a socialite. And I was like, why does the one gay character in your project have to be a stereotype? So I think, you bring up a good point about representation in the media, and there are few characters that are either, non-binary or trans or bisexual or queer, among other things, just in the genre. I mean, I don't know what the answer is as far as like your particular situation is casting somebody else, but I love the idea of just opening up that question to people who are interested, because that alone also makes them feel seen. So, I mean, the fact that you're including, male, female, and then other options besides just those two genders, I think is great.
Some of our favorites have been, didn't we get a response once? We thought it was from the guy that we had sent the questionnaire to, but actually his wife had responded on his behalf. And it was like, he really wants to play a female character, and he was super tall, and so we had him play
Madame Maxine,
and he had no idea.
From Harry Potter and the Goblet.
And then he...
Or the...
Fire. Don't ask me.
I know, the whatever, anyway.
But then he got his character assignment and was like, what the fuck? Like, why would I be this? And he showed up and he killed it. He looked so great. He
won our costume contest.
Talk of the whole event. He was amazing. They're such a fun couple. And she was like, I didn't tell him, but like I responded to his email, which
that's why you did it. But
hilarious.
It was so brilliant, and he nailed it.
Oh, he was so great. He just leaned into it.
Actually, I did some deep dive research into some Harry Potter, because some people did say they would prefer neither. And I didn't know if it was because because there's been some people who said neither, and they're like, oh, I meant like I didn't care. And they're like, oh, okay, well, that makes it easier for us. But if it was in neither, I did some deep dive into Harry Potter, where there's a Quidditch player whose name is Harper, and it doesn't say if they're male or female. And they just show up briefly in like a half a second scene in one of the movies. But I found...
No. You're going to have to repeat yourself.
They'll be back.
Yeah,
they want to represent...
Lauren, Khai, you have to repeat that. So you found, they appeared for just 1 second, but you found what about Harper?
Oh, Harper never was assigned a gender identity. It was just said, Harper's getting this ball in this Quidditch match, and like flew off. And you could never see if Harper was male or female. So I was just, it's people who said neither. I'm like, you're now Harper, and we just won't assign you
Harper was like
a gender to that character. You be you, and that's fine, because Harry Potter didn't assign you a gender, which I now see super ironic.
Well, now there's a whole J.K. Rowling thing, and we're like, well,
yeah,
like, were we more inclusive than me?
Yeah, seriously. Well, I mean, to go back to like what you were saying about, just giving people the option to play whatever they want. Even if they're, even if that character doesn't necessarily represent them, like maybe somebody who's trans or non-binary, they have the option to play whatever character they want. I love that you're giving people, you're not putting those people in a box, and it's like, all right, if you identify as male, you can only play a male character. Like you can play, I mean, that's drag to a degree.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing, though, with representation that comes with a lot of these fandoms don't have the most diverse ethnically and in terms of people of color, and that can be sometimes a trick with figuring out, because I also just what's the best way to go about it at the same time.
Well, you do casting for a living as well. So
I do.
That's your thing.
Casting audiobooks is way easier in some degrees.
Yeah.
But so it is trying to make people feel like they're authentically seen and playing the people that they want to be seen. Mm-hmm. So that's one of the things that we have on our personality questionnaires. It comes down to who do you think you look most like physically, but then also who do you think your personality is the most like. Yes. And we try to match your personality more than anything else, because honestly, nobody cares what you look like, especially if you're digital and online.
What? Who did Luis say he looked like? Prince Harry.
Prince Harry.
I get that a lot.
Yes. That was your physical representative. But then personality-wise, you've been told Ryan Reynolds.
I've been told Ryan Reynolds, yeah.
Ooh, that was actually something I was going to ask you, Jolene, is how well do you think you know Luis? Do you think you would guess all of his answers on his personality questionnaire? There's only like 8 of them that we haven't already told. I do.
Oh, okay.
No, I feel like I know Luis well in life. Questionnaire well though. I bet you I bet you I get like 50 to 60% of them.
Is he masquerading?
Just for the question, because he's like, I want to be this person.
I'm trying to get this character.
Should we
By the way-
do like what we each think the other person answered?
Yeah.
Here, I'll give you our questionnaire that we have.
Because I want to know what Jolene's answers would be, too. It was weird because, Luis, you very kindly helped us figure out a better format for our questionnaire.
Thank you.
And so it ended up that we had to test that, and I had to fill it out for the first time ever. I've never filled out one of our questionnaires.
Oh.
And it's like, okay, who am I? Like, this is fun. I've never done this before. Who's my personality? And I was my coworker, and I was like, I feel like I'm like, you know, the cute little squirrel in The Sword in the Stone. That's like the cute little squirrel that he falls for. And he just looks at me and he's like, no, you're
honey.
Elsa. You're like closed off and icy. You're Elsa. And I was like,
You're cold.
Well, nailed it.
furthest from the squirrel, but okay.
Yeah, not at all.
And you did your own as
I did
well.
my own. It was funny to see where we overlapped.
Yeah, we were like, can we be friends? How did we?
We overlapped more than I thought.
How
were
have we
going
never done
to.
this before?
I know. We never had to. All right, so the first question on our personality questionnaire is always is, in the event of a murder, would you be the murderer, the accomplice, the witness, the justice seeker, or the victim? Luis, how would Jolene answer? And Jolene, have your answer in your mind.
When whoever wants to answer, just so you know, if you're watching, you can also throw in what your answer is. Feel free to comment. Can you repeat the question, Khai?
In the event of a murder, would you be the murderer, the accomplice, the witness, the justice seeker, or the victim?
What I think Jolene would choose.
Do you know what you would be, Jolene? Do you have an idea in your mind?
I do.
I mean,
Okay.
I was gonna say, my instinct is the murderer.
That's what you think I would say?
I was gonna say that or the accomplice.
Jesus.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
Witness. See, and okay, Luis, I would think that you would answer about yourself that you'd be the justice seeker.
Oh, do you want to hear what Luis actually... Oops, I just lost his answer. I have his answers, right?
Yeah.
I thought those were his answers.
He said he would be all of the above.
Oh, that's right.
What? That's not even an option.
Listen,
he's
I will not be put in a box.
Oh, Lord. Okay, this will be great.
I would be a justice seeker too.
No, you put down murderer.
Oh, well, obviously.
We're murder maids. We're the murderers.
Yeah.
So, okay. So, answers. All right. Next one. So, stop it.
Nothing.
I'm like, no, you're not.
Okay,
That's a rule. Because this one that we have coming up is fairy tales, but we've totally made them raunchy, not safe for work. It's 10 years into their marriges, and everything is shit. Because let's be honest, how well is marriage going to go if the only words you ever spoken to them was just nothing?
No one is
kissed you on the
happy.
lips.
No one is happy in that.
No, like, hi, I met you in the woods once, and you looked pretty while you danced with some...
You kissed me while I was, like, dead.
Like, no. Why would these marriages work out? They wouldn't. So they're fucked up, and now we're going to make a murder mystery out of them because clearly someone needs to die.
Amazing.
Anyway, so at a royal ball, would you be the center of attention in an epic outfit? Bored, not invited, serving hors d'oeuvres, drunk, or missing a shoe by the end?
I feel like they go hand in hand. Drunk.
They
and missing a
do.
shoe by the
But no,
end.
like there's like, oh, I'm drunk and tipsy, and there's like, I'm missing a shoe. And I went home with only one shoe. That's another level of drunk.
Canadian Lauren was missing a shoe.
I'm going to say Jolene would say, and I'm going to disagree with this choice if this is what she would pick for herself. I think she would say not invited. But I actually I disagree that she wouldn't be invited. I was just saying, like, I know Jolene and she's kind of like, oh, I don't know but I think she would be invited and she would totally be drunk.
Drunk is exactly what I landed on. I didn't even consider the others. No,
Oh, good. Okay.
No, that's funny. Well, and that's just because you do know that side of me that's like, it's that stupid side of me. But once I have a drink or two in me, that side goes away. And we all know that's how that night would go. So for you, though, Luis totally said he'd be in a fabulous outfit, center of attention.
Yes, he did.
Yes,
He
he
said
did.
the center of attention, an epic outfit,
But also
and drunk.
Okay. I was going to say all of these are going to be all of the above somehow in some way, but that's
wedding with Luis.
Can attest.
Correct on both counts.
Dressed great.
it's gone.
An epic wedding in England.
Oh yeah, it was in a creepy hall. It was great.
Just some weird chick that I met on the street of Hollywood Boulevard.
A weird what?
It was just some weird chick I met on the streets of
what?
Hollywood Boulevard. It was her wedding. She invited me randomly.
And
you
I
did.
hate walking.
Because you're like, I don't have any friends who would normally invite me to a wedding. This is my only opportunity.
Yeah.
Paid for everyone's flights and accommodation.
Yeah.
Shit, you.
And I don't know where you bitches stayed.
I'm like, how did I not get?
She
Next
did
question.
not pay for my flight.
I didn't pay for anyone.
How do you feel about lying? So, option 1, you never lie, and anyone who does is dead to you. 2, a white lie may be acceptable from time to time, but it would stress you out. 3, you'll lie if it'll save you or a loved one from harm. 4, you have no issues about lying, but you're pretty bad at it. And 5, you could pass a lie detector test with ease, and it would be fun.
I'm going to say Jolene says she has no issues with lying, but she's bad at it.
yeah, it's a combination of that one and then I'd lie to protect loved ones from harm. If I could combine.
Oh,
those,
I missed that one.
I'll lie to protect them from harm, but I'm not promising to be good at it. That would be my answer. I think Luis would have so much fun deceiving a lie detector test. So he chose that one, maybe combined it with another one, but that's the main one for him.
He wrote, a white lie may be acceptable from time to time, but it would stress him out. You liar already!
I hate lying. I hate lying.
You're an actor, darling.
I know, but that's not lying.
You are live. You said we have a special guest. You love
I
lying.
did. That's a joke, though. That's a joke.
Okay, joke. Like, if there was an option in there for like joke lying and pranks.
Well, that's why I said it's a white lie. I was a little stressed out that she would get really, really excited and then she would never be my friend again.
Okay, now I know.
I'm like, I might have to cut him out.
It was a ginger lie. It's a little bit more brutal.
Yeah.
Ooh, true.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Brits hate gingers. I don't know.
They
I don't.
do.
All right, how would you describe your best friend? 1, a bad influence. 2, an animal, not a human. 3, really, really short. 4, a fairy. Or 5, the fictional character from the book you're currently reading.
Fairy.
Say that for me or for you?
For you.
Yeah, that's really weird that you somehow know.
Jolene at Ren Fair. Of course she would be best friends.
And also,
Punk Fair.
there's many levels to that one.
Yeah.
Luis said, what do you think, Jolene?
Let's see. So really, really short, a fairy, a bad influence. What was the other one?
Animal, not a human, or a fictional character from the book he's reading.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, I'm gonna give you a hint here. It was one of those all of the above things, not quite all of the above.
Yeah. That's why I was like, I don't know that you would choose. I actually thought to myself, I don't know that he would choose any one of these. I think he's gonna say something like a short animal from a fictional book or something.
A short animal from a fiction. That's yours. No, he said a bad influence, and then in parentheses, technically, I'm probably the bad influence.
So like negated. Your best
okay.
friend is yourself.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Oh,
I think I said really short.
that's funny because you're not my best friend.
Oh,
There you
damn.
go. That's how we roll.
Shots fired.
She's a no.
Yeah.
And then, as we were talking about before, the next
Let's make it
question
fun.
is, would you prefer to portray a character that is male, female, neither, or no preference?
Skip over.
And Louise said no preference because hashtag 21st century. All right, what quality do you find most attractive in a romantic partner? Ridiculously large eyes. Keep in mind, this is for a Disney fairy tales type of thing.
Okay.
Ridiculously large eyes. The hairier, the better. Good with animals. Amazing singing voice. Loyalty. Has a pulse. Or pulse optional.
I know.
Got some princes who are some of those people.
Yeah.
let's see. Jolene, I think for this one, and again, because this is for a fairy tale thing, I would say pulse optional.
I'd be so curious as to how you came to that conclusion. No, it would be good with animals first and foremost, but because of my reality, I'd have to include the hairier the better as well.
Yeah, we're all.
Let's see, for Luis, oh my goodness. Let's go, you know what? No. Oh, let's go pulse optional for you.
I do. He's so funny with his.
She said pulse optional, right? You said pulse optional.
All right.
Yeah.
Luis said, amazing singing voice, but then in parentheses, this is a plus, but I'm 33 and time's a ticking, which I really do think means pulse optional.
Luis, I really hope you thought this was all going to be just private, that only we would see.
Yeah,
and
no, we're
don't
sharing
just-
this yet.
That's all right.
Welcome. Okay.
Which school clique/group do you most identify with? The cool popular kids, bullies, smart kids/nerds, loners, theater and or band, or a floater? You can get along everywhere.
I would say theater band.
That was the answer until I heard floater, because, yeah, you jock, choir, band, theater, Future Farmers of America, by the way. I was great in that.
Farmers of America? We're going to be best friends because I'm from Wisconsin.
Oh my
and
God,
I just
look out.
related hard.
Be afraid.
So.
FFA.
Don't. She's never nice to me. I'm in an abusive relationship.
Well, you keep setting her up. You keep saying these things, and then she just pounces on it. It's perfect.
Great. See, Jolene understands.
Or Jolene, I thought we were friends, but apparently you guys are going to be friends, and I'm just going to drink. Anyway,
I'm here with you, Khai.
We'll be friends.
We'll go watch RuPaul's Drag Race together.
Oh my God, please. Anyway, so what did you think Luis said?
Oh, definitely the theater one. He'll probably mix it with something else, but definitely theater.
No, that was flat.
No, he did.
Straight theater.
Like, let's be honest. This
Yeah.
is blue. And you're a floater. Okay, so if someone insults you, how do you react? A witty and biting retort. You cry. You order your huntsman to kill them. You graciously turn the other cheek. Or you are too in your own world to even notice.
Witty retort.
Oh, you give me way too much credit. I don't want this to be true of me, but I would definitely turn the other cheek, but mostly just because I go numb and chicken out. You'd be the witty retort person.
Boom! You called him.
Bam.
Yes, he said that. Bam.
I think Jolene is winning this one.
She sees you. She knows.
Yeah.
Luis is very witty.
Yeah, Luis is, I think I am.
Okay, so here's my favorite one on this specific questionnaire. You have a Saturday free to do whatever you'd like. What do you do?
I mean,
One, this is where we definitely differed on this, by the way.
because it's quarantine times.
Yes. 1, clean. 2, read. 3, just get out of your house for once in your goddamn life. 4, find someone to love, or at least someone to hook up with. 5, plan a party. 6, slay some dragons. Or 7, follow a white rabbit and have a trippy time. Very good.
I would say slay some dragons.
God damn it. I don't know. That's good job.
Yay!
And
Yeah, well,
That's
Yeah,
mean.
good. I was like, that's the only one that I can choose that would be realistic. And then for you, hookup.
oh, actually, Luis said he'd plan a party.
Is that what I said too?
Yeah, that's what Lauren said.
Oh, Luis,
too.
we're planning a party together.
I said clean because I'm ridiculous and I can't help myself.
I'm not looking for a hookup.
Why? This is.
I know, I just set myself up for being
One
made
of
fun of
many
all of the
reasons.
time. But you know what? My place needs cleaning.
No,
You have a child.
I wish that my answer was clean. And okay, Luis, maybe I got that one wrong because you don't need to look for hookups. They just come to you. It was
That
a
is
trick
not
question.
true. That is
Like,
not
look
true.
for hookups should have been an option.
That is not
I'm sorry.
true.
That's the one talking. You just
Not true.
don't let me talk anymore.
Do that.
Well, here I actually have a question from somebody they asked a little while ago, and
Do it.
when I ask you, I'll throw it up on there. But it's, if you had to choose, would you prefer an event in a past, present, or future timeline? Thank you, Jonathan, for that question.
I would prefer like I've wanted to do a time travel one for a long time because I'm a big Bill and Ted fan, and I want to just do kind of a, even if it's literally Bill and Ted, if it's like a time hop through all the periods they go to, and it's all the characters from Excellent Adventure, I think that would be really
So you want to do
fun.
past?
Past, but they also go to the future for a minute.
So you want to
Like
not
Rufus would be there, and he's
Okay, so you want to not.
Rufus, and you can be Napoleon or Beethoven, all these guys.
But I want like a bounce around one, and we've talked about doing a Doctor Who one because again,
That definitely bounces.
bouncing around. But
All right, so here's
Yeah.
where I land on this one. One, you can have some hella fun clues with present/future, where we've made up fake phone numbers and numbers you have to call, and you get information from that. Where we have iPads and you have to figure out a code to unlock it, and have all that stuff that works really well with present and future. And that's super fun for me to be able to find clues and puzzles and things on that level. However, that being said, no, it's not the technology. I just love history. I'm a huge history nerd, and yeah, I know I'm a nerd in general, and she'll say negative, blah, 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 blah. But I love it, and I love going into those worlds, and also you can get super in-depth on these characters, especially if it is somebody from the past and the history. You can learn everything that was about them, and you can create all these stories that go with them, and you can find out other ways to do it. You can recreate letters, or I don't know, it just takes an extra level of planning and thinking and everything else while mashing it up with history. And here's my little thing that I have on the side that I would like, a future goal, hashtag future goals, or I don't know how hashtags work. Anyway, shut up. Anyway, one of my goals is, I think that this would be a really fun way to teach people history. And I mean, it's definitely need to learn history because everyone, like, that's part of your school. But I have learned how many adults don't know history, don't know their own history, don't know, like, it's kind of appalling on a certain
learn
level.
it through murder.
Like, she didn't realize the British are always the bad guys until, like, last year.
Didn't know until I moved here. I mean, you guys are not always the heroes as well, and I learned that a little
we
bit
are
as well.
terrible in history.
Like, I didn't know
many times.
I never thought we were the heroes in England. I thought America was always the heroes, and then that was
No,
incorrect.
that's not true.
But I never thought we were the villains either, and then I was like,
yeah.
we're horrible people. Horrible people.
No, England's almost always the villain. Anyway,
Yeah.
my point being is, still are.
Well, in Russia.
Oh, well, yeah, Russia.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. I'm like, such a cliche, and then like Russia keeps on being evil. I'm like, God damn it, Russia! Do
And someone
something
thought I
new."
was Russian the other day, and I was like,
that makes
that
sense.
tracks.
It
You
does
just think
track.
I'm evil.
Anyway, I thought it would be a really fantastic way to teach people history through some of these events, and that's
Yeah.
something that I would like to do, almost just like it's a charity to a degree, without us having to.
We do a lot of
go broke,
outreach.
but yeah. We do. We've done
try
free
to,
events for
yeah.
people for so they buy tickets to our events, but we don't get the money to go to building homes for homeless people and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So we do try to do a lot of outreach, and murderers in our events, in our public events, for them to atone for their sins, they have to pick a charity, and then we donate some money to that charity so they can atone for their murderous ways.
Which we made them do, but
So
that's okay.
we do like to give back. But one of the things that is my personal goals is that I would love to do more history type events to teach people their history and like see how things went down and who these different characters and players were. And yeah, you know what? Some things might be different from how history actually played out. But when a murder or something nasty or terrible actually happened, these characters and their stories and their backstories, all very much researched and thorough and accurate to what that was. And
Well, anything that
we
gets
learned.
people talking about an event that was, ignored, like with the Watchmen, for example, like a lot of
Yeah.
people didn't know that happened, and it was like,
That would shock me. I was like, oh
Yeah.
my God,
Yeah.
that was real. That's how I learned about the Tulsa massacres.
and
Was
you're
through
like, this is
Watchmen.
my country.
That's
and I
not
didn't-
okay that I was not taught that in school. That's
No.
ridiculous.
Anything that opens people's eyes to something that they may not have been aware of, I think that's
I legitimately just went on Wikipedia and Google during that episode. I was like, is this a real thing, or did they just make it up for the show? And then I felt like a dumbass. But
I mean,
educated.
I hear you. I learned about that as well. So I love the idea of learning through entertainment, and I love how much effort and work and detail you put into all of your stuff. And I know this not just as your friend, but also as an actual consumer and like a participant in your event. So it's like awesome that, you know, you're doing that. Thank you. Before we wrap up, what do you have coming up in the future that we should know about? Where can we learn about what it is that is coming up next?
So
We have. She's like, I drank too much.
I know. I'm like, I just
you
talked
say
a
the
lot.
sensible things. So we do have a public murder mystery this Sunday at 6 p.m. What do you call it?
Pacific time.
Pacific time. I'm always like West.
Give him a second.
Well, yeah,
Give me a
they'll come around. They're on East Coast. It's
Okay.
lagging.
Okay.
So repeat that real
There's
quick.
a couple tickets left for that.
Wait, repeat that. So West Coast this Sunday.
West Coast is the best code.
But don't say that because there's other people who play from all different
So
time
6
zones.
6 p.m. Pacific time. We have a fairy tale themed murder mystery on Sunday.
I'll be there.
You can still buy tickets to that. Yeah, Luis will be there.
If you want to play with Luis.
If you want to accidentally be stuck in a room in a castle and chatting with Luis, then
Yeah, that's the thing. We move you through virtual castle in different rooms, and there's different puzzles, like the Dunder Mifflin thing, but only for this theme, which is the not safe for work fairy tales.
yeah,
It's called
not-
Real Housewives of Happily Ever
Don't
After.
bring the children. Like it's not friendly.
It's gonna get gross. It's gonna get nasty. People are
Um,
gonna start bitching a lot,
yeah.
and it's gonna be fabulous.
And we are going to add another date for that because this one has been popular, and we're going to add a date also. Obviously, I'm from
Specifically-
England, weird, but like there are people in England, my family, who want to play, and so we're going to be adding like a Europe-friendly time. So it'll be like a matinee for us over here, but it'll be a nice time for them to be able to have a drink and a play as well.
Nice. And
So keep your eye.
thank you. You mentioned you are extending this discount that you have going on right now. So anybody who buys tickets, do you want to share that?
Yes, so because of you lovely watchers, we've decided for anyone who's been watching this event and watch in the next 24 to 48 hours, we are extending a discount. It's 25% off on our tickets. So there's a link. I don't know if we gave you that link, Luis, but the link to go get our tickets that are currently.
It's on our website, and it's on our.
Yeah.
I think it's on there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's on
Yeah,
our thing on
I'm
there.
looking at it right now
Yeah.
at maidtoordermysteries.com.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you can get a ticket to. There's only a few left for this Sunday's one, but then
Yeah.
there'll be another one of this because it's been going really well.
But if you want to have a private one, or if you have a theme in mind, even that you just think this would be cool, like I know we've already got a couple of responses to the
yeah.
from the Dunder Mifflin, which is cool. But if you want to just email us or reach out via social media, and
Yeah,
give us
it's
an
not like
idea.
you have to have 50 people to do an event. That's just our biggest one.
No.
We don't recommend going smaller than 8 people, but if you just have a group of your own friends and you just want to do one that's within your own friend group because you don't want to, like, you'll just feel more comfortable that
12
way.
to 15 is a good number.
That's a really excellent number,
Yeah.
and you can have a lot of fun, reconnect with your friends. We usually like to keep you guys a mystery of which characters your friends are all playing, and so then at the end of it, you get to feel like, oh my god, I was yelling shit at you about
Yeah,
this.
we can
and blah, blah.
kind of
So-
arrange that where you guys will be playing and you won't know who's who. And then, because we did a private one recently where that was the case, and they all knew they were playing together, but no one revealed who they were going to be. And they did the whole mystery, and then they did like a private Zoom party afterwards where they'd like dressed up and they had their character name, and they were like, "You're a bitch to me," and I knew that was you the whole time. Which was fun. I mean, we didn't get to see that, but and they sent us pictures. but-
Yeah.
so-
Nice.
They wrote poetry to us
We had a-
afterwards.
yeah,
It was
we had
really funny
poetry.
about how the event worked out. Like, it's been really fun. I don't have a gaming technology background. She doesn't either. But we do any of our events, we deep dive research into these things.
Yeah.
So we figure it out. We know how it is. We just want to immerse you in a different world so you get to talk to other people who are also a big fan of this world and pretend to be other characters and kill some people.
And again, thank you to our friends and husbands who are better than us with technology and give us all the help.
Oh my god! Well, even just the thing, even the office thing that I got to do tonight, I'm still thinking about it. Just so you know,
Yeah.
it was so cool. And
I'm
I'm on the website now, and I just followed you on social media. You'll be hearing from me.
Oh, I love The Office so much. I was so excited to do this when I was like, oh, I already threw up the story and this is just in 3 seconds. So
Yeah.
I was, once we got into it, I was like, I kind of want to do this event now. Like I have a whole idea for it. Can we do this event? So if anyone likes The Office,
Yeah.
let us know and we'll like make it a thing that you can do.
Oh, an Office one would be great.
Well,
That would be great.
thank you so much for jumping on.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful that you came on. Thank you. I'm so excited for Sunday. I will see you then.
Oh, I can't wait for you to find out who we've cast you.
I can't wait. Cheers.
Cheers, you guys.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, Joe, congratulations to you.
No, I won tonight. I'm so excited. In all seriousness, that was really, I was like sad that there's one puzzle you put together and you get the password and stuff. But these ladies are badass.
Oh, they're super.
We got to have them
I mean,
tonight.
if there's anything that can be said about them is how really, if you didn't get it like from this conversation, they're so attentive to detail. Like everything is so well thought out. It's super interesting, and they've done a really, really awesome job at like transferring this into the virtual world that we have to be, in right now while COVID is, doing its thing. But everybody, please take the time to follow Made to Order Mysteries on Instagram. Check out the website, and like they said, they do have a few more tickets left for this Sunday. I'll be there. I could be your Prince Charming or Princess Charming or Wolf, or I don't know what the hell I'm gonna be, but I'll be there. And hope you'll join me and reach out. It's super, super fun. Thank you so much for joining us again, everybody, and thank you again for your patience with the little drummer boy intro that we had over and over again.
My goodness.
Till the next week's shenanigans.
Exactly. Yeah. Bring it on. We can solve anything at this point.
Bring it on, 2020. No, don't.
Yeah.
All right.
No.
Bye.